Good fat is good for women and men. It's strange. We are just coming to the end of a 30-year reign of misinformation in the medical community that encouraged us to go low fat. And through that, we cut fat out and we added sugar in, and we drastically increased our sugar consumption, our carbs consumption in the last 30 years. And those things were supposed to make us healthier. But as you look around the landscape, you know it can't be true. So many people are struggling with obesity, with mental health crises. There's more people on anti-anxiety and antidepressants than ever before. It's crazy. They figure like something over 50% of the population. Oh my gosh, what's happened? Well, I think it's because we cut fat. In an amazing little book called Good Fat is Good for Women by Elizabeth Bright, she talks about this whole craze of reducing fat and the consequences on our body and our mental health. And she really encourages us to take a look at it again, to go back and really look at the science and decide, is it really true? Or is it just good old American consumerism trying to sell us more stuff? In the 1950s, 60s, and even into the 70s, there was very few people who were overweight, very few people who were struggling with diabetes. And now that is completely the opposite case. So there's a whole underground movement right now encouraging people in general to look at a higher fat, higher protein diet. Everything from 100% carnivore, where all you eat is like steak and butter, which is wonderful and yummy, to other people who are encouraging a ketogenic diet that has a more varied seeds and nuts and protein and fat and really getting the body into ketosis. Now, you might be wondering, why is a counselor, that's me, Melissa Kelley, why is a counselor encouraging you to think about what you eat? Well, that's because we know that what you put in your body fuels your brain. And if your brain isn't fueled, you're not going to have the hormones and amino acids that help balance your mood. Protein and fat, that's where the secret sauce is. This movement is encouraging you to maybe look at 80% meat and fat to 20% fruits, vegetables, and nuts. That is a modified carnivore diet or a ketovore, where you're mashing the best of carnivore and keto diets together. Really, it's an individual preference for you. What's going to work for you? And so don't take my word for it. Go ahead and do some exploration. Watch some YouTube videos. Look at the Steak and Butter Gal. I love her channel. And some of the doctors out there who have switched to this kind of eating. Read some books. A few of my favorite books on this very topic is an interesting little book called Good Fat is Good for Women by Elizabeth Bright. She's a doctor and endocrinologist. Julia Ross's The Craving Cure. And it talks about the link of amino acids and how those really stabilize our mental health. If you want to make some changes, great place to start. If we're not eating enough good high protein and fat, again, we will not have the building blocks to fill up our serotonin receptors, our GABA receptors, our endorphins, all of those things that help us fight pain, fight craving, and help us lead a healthy, balanced life. Another one of my really favorite books is called Brain Energy. It's by a psychologist. He's an MD, Christopher Palmer, and he's talking about the research that is fueling the movement to a ketogenic diet for people who have bipolar, schizophrenia, all of these more severe mental health problems. And then looking at, hey, what about all of us who have just maybe little ups and downs and little struggles with depression? What does it look like for us to join that kind of eating? You can watch hundreds of videos on YouTube by people who've started carnivore or started ketovore or the ketogenic diet, and they are being cured of lifelong illnesses. They're losing weight. They're getting off their antidepressants and anxiety medicine. And there's even people who are joining this movement who have bipolar and more serious medical psychological issues. Now, I'm not promoting you go ahead and just stop all your medications. I'm encouraging you to think about, do some research, talk to your doctor, talk to your family, get a supportive network around you, find a counselor, find people who are going to walk with you on the journey of exploration. For some people, you're not going to go off your meds, but maybe you're going to reduce some of those meds a little bit eventually. So, exploration is key. Be curious. And I hope that this information will fuel your curiosity to learn more about how to have a healthier body and a healthier mindset.